This Mancast is rated TVMA for language, because we just don't give a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please lend me your ears again. Hope you're listening, the geniuses are entering. Bringing it simple and plain with no fickle sin. Got receptors in your brain, flickering. Imagine positive attraction, not for satisfaction, just for the reaction. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Now let me rearrange. Find the positives and negatives and you'll always be charged. Know that I'm intelligent, but telling it ain't.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Episode 4.1 of the Mancast. You know me, I'm your boy, Man of Steel 14 here.
I'm MB Tracker, Mr. Chocolate right here.
And so, little different that we're going to be doing, we're going to be releasing mini-sodes. So you can expect multiple videos throughout the week, so you can watch what you like. Be always sure to comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you want to see. We're here for you guys. We want to do what you like. So make sure you comment on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Mancast NV. The Mancast NV.
I mean, and we all make mistakes, mostly him, but
yeah, that's what happens. We're going to start off with where we left off last week with our white boy gang signs that we try to do. Even this guy over there doing our funny East Coast symbol that we tried. So we're going to send it over to Big Rip on the East Coast. Show us West Coasters how it's done. How do we do it, Big Rip?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Rip. Since my colleagues did such a great job last week of doing their little gang signs, this is Gang Sign 101. Here we go. East Coast symbol, real simple. Thumb, pointer, middle finger. Thumb at the bottom, pointer in the middle, crook the middle finger at the top. You have an E, and that, my friends, is the East Coast symbol. Back to you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Big Rip. Did you guys learn how to do that? You guys got that East Coast down?
that's it. Did I do it?
I figured.
I think I did it.
Come on, John, you can do this.
Thumb on the bottom. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. You're like this. Okay. That's why we're from the West Coast.
Exactly.
Anyways, so we're going to be doing a current events segment on episode 4.1. We're going to be talking about the new iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. That announcement was made earlier this week. And we're also going to be talking about domestic violence in the NFL with Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, as well as Roger Goodell coming up a little bit later. So first, guys, let's talk about that iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. What do you guys think about it?
Well, I'm just going to start off by the bat by saying that my views may be slightly biased. I am a Galaxy S user. You know, I love the Galaxy S, but that's only because I like quality. And I don't like phones that are trying to catch up to other phones, as the iPhone is clearly trying to do right here, with its features that we've had since like the Galaxy S4. Not even to mention the camera. The camera's a 8-megapixel camera. When the Galaxy S2 came out like 4 years ago, pretty sure it had the same exact camera. And it does have more features in it, definitely. But the GS4 and the GS5, they definitely have those features as well. Don't get me wrong, iPhone does have some benefits to it, but you really need to step your game up. If you're going to release the 6, something everyone's so hyped about, don't just make your screen a little bigger. Do a lot more than that, you know? Apple's a great company, and I think the iPhone's an incredible product, but they fucked up on this one, I think.
Yeah, they need to evolve their product. They can't just make an increment if they want to stay at the top of the game, the ones that made the original iPhone. I mean, no one had ever seen anything like the iPhone before when it came out.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, they've fallen behind. And, you know, Steve Jobs dies, and all of a sudden, the whole platform goes down.
Now that you mention it, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but when the iPhone 1 came out, actually, the closest phone they had to an iPhone was the Motorola Sliver. And that was simply because this phone had iTunes on it. But it was so limited, it had a VGA camera, which, don't quote me on this, is like 0.5 of a megapixel.
Right.
You could only hold 100 songs on your iTunes thing.
Yeah,
I had that phone.
You couldn't even upgrade it, huh?
Exactly, nothing like that. It wasn't a smartphone or anything, but I remember I actually had the Motorola Sliver. Everyone else had the Motorola Razr, and like I was like, oh, I'm a super badass. Then the iPhone comes out, and it literally changed everything. Because smartphones were not smart when you compare them to the iPhone. It was great operating system, simple to use, yet still advanced in everything, you know? and now look at it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just disappointed.
it's on the bottom rung compared to the rest who are just like, haha, bye, rocket to the top.
Man, it's still 14. I haven't heard you say anything. What's
You
your
know,
opinion?
it's very disappointing. I am also biased. I'm rocking the S5. You know, I've never been an Apple fan. I think they're amazing machines if you throw in the computers and the laptops. Amazing machines, but outrageously overpriced. I'm going to start off with the price points and the storage for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. The cheapest one you can get is a 16 gigabyte. That's the iPhone 6. And that's running at $199, which isn't really too bad of a price.
No, it's really not.
That's running 16 gigabytes, which is what my S5 is out of the box.
But doesn't your S5 have a expander slot where you
Yes,
can
it does
throw
have
in?
an SD expansion.
You can buy a
Yes.
128 gig micro SD and all of a sudden.
And that's not that expensive to get at all.
Correct.
nope, it's $40.
The iPhone does come with 128 gigs pre-installed. That is running at $399 for the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 Plus, if you want to go with that monster memory of the 128 gigs, that's running $499 for that phone. So expensive, yes, but you know, for 128 gigs, that's pretty comparable to the S5. I want to say the S5 for my 16 gigs was $500. I mean,
Were those prices you were quoting, were they with upgrade?
no. That's out of the box, no contract.
So out of the box, no contract. I can
Yeah, that has
200
to be the contract because
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, it's
has to be-
guaranteed.
Yeah, it's got to be the contract because all these phones that come with like the $499, $399, they're all with contracts because the
That makes
actual
sense. That's
price-
pretty cheap.
So
because the actual price would probably be more like $800-$900.
exactly. So real quick correction: those prices we were giving you, those are with an upgrade and everything. And so if you do get the S5 right now for a 16 gigabyte one, don't quote me on this number, but it's gonna be right around $200 for 16 gigabyte. Grab yourself a 48 gigabyte memory card. You can throw it in there for an extra $25, $30 off
I
Amazon.com.
don't even know.
I paid $100 for my S5.
$100 for your S5. Let's say $50 for the highest SD card you can get. So now we're gonna say $150 compared to, what'd you say, $499?
Yeah,
Well, the
$499.
cheapest 16 gig iPhone is $199. That's just for the iPhone 6, not the 6 Plus. So if you want the screen like the S5, the 16 gig 6 Plus is $299.
No, thank you.
So $300 for the 16 gig i Plus.
Essentially, it's just overpriced. It's just to me, it doesn't feel like it's worth it.
And then, like Mr. Chocolate was saying, it has an 8 megapixel camera. My S5 is running 16 megapixels. I can print out a picture of the three of us that's as big as this room with no issues at all.
Of
And
course.
so, I mean, with everybody using their phones as camcorders, as cameras, nobody carries digital cameras with them anymore.
No.
Everybody uses their phone. I feel that that is one of the most important features, aside from battery life, on the phone. And they just really dropped the ball on it. I don't understand.
I don't understand why they didn't step it up. The iPhone 4S, what do you know its megapixel? I would say 8 megapixel, and if it's not 8, it was 5. But I'm pretty sure it would have been 8 unless they dropped the ball when they released that. And my Galaxy S4, that's what I'm rocking. I got that about a year and change ago, you know? It has a 13 megapixel camera. Why did they decide not to step it up? It almost makes me feel like maybe the iPhone 6S is going to come out and it's going to have a 20 megapixel camera or something, you know?
It better.
But that's
you know?
kind of messed
But that's
up from
gonna-
Apple, you know?
It's
Why
going
are
to be
they,
in a year.
exactly, but why are they just going to make people, okay, let's have these people shell out tons of money for an okay phone, and then we'll release a phone that should have been released in the first place so we can make even more money, you know?
Exactly.
That's because people will buy it. People will wait overnight to buy the iPhone.
You got all these brand lovers that love Apple that are going to be standing in line to buy it, and Apple just wants that money.
Absolutely.
All the Apple lovers, they want that newest technology, regardless of how it is. I wish we had an Apple lover here to kind of contradict what we're saying, but, I mean, you got 3 Droid users right here.
Well, I mean, the iPhone, what I can give it, it's definitely pretty smooth. You know, that's a smooth operating system.
Yeah.
It's definitely simple, too. You can get used to it quick, but it does have its quirks and stuff that you need to learn to it, too. You know, I love having that learning curve when I get the new phone, something totally new. iPhone, for the most part, you know, you're used to the operating system, but there's always new features to it. It's something my grandma can use, but it's also something that my best friend in college won't get bored with. You know, the
Right,
iPhone,
right.
it is a great phone. It's just the 6 did not have any amazing features, you know? I mean, we have waterproof phones. Your phone, you can go swimming with it. You'll be okay. And if you're going to get an iPhone 6 for freaking $400, you have to deal with an 8-megapixel camera.
Yeah.
I say wait till you get the iPhone 6S. You know, that'll probably be a cool phone, hopefully. But I would definitely say wait out this iPhone 6. Maybe even get a Galaxy S, you know. You can go swimming. You
Get
can
an S4 even. That's better than the new iPhone.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
you can get it for 96 cents, I believe, at Walmart.
Well, here's something that you guys might find slightly angering. I don't know. You guys might get pissed off with this. So when I got my phone, I got the Droid Razr Max HD. It's got some magnificent battery life. I'm not feeling it right now. A year into its use, I've got it a year and some change to go, just like John, Mr. Chocolate. And the increment before the phone that I had, it was the Droid Razr Max, not the HD, and it had a single core processor. And then when they released the HD Max, or the Max HD, dual core processor, it was literally twice as fast, 100% faster than the previous iteration. It also had twice as much RAM.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know anything about what computers are. Just
It
take
just
my word for it.
means twice as good as a cell phone when it was released.
It's literally twice as fast. This next iPhone, for the iPhone Plus, it's an Apple A8 chip. It is 64-bit, but it's only 25% faster than the last one. 25% for a full year.
That's disappointing.
It's really
Very,
disappointing for
very.
me. I mean, come on. You're Apple. You're supposed to be the fastest in the network and fastest on the planet, and you're not. You're not even close.
Now, what do you guys think about the Apple Watch?
That's so dumb. Okay, no. Galaxy did it first, and
Like
that was
2
dumb.
years ago.
And that was dumb. It was dumb then.
Let me counter this. Yes, the iPhone Watch, Apple Watch, I'm sorry, the Galaxy Watch, all of those, they're dumb. They literally are. I have a watch on my wrist right here. It does everything I need perfectly fine.
They're
However,
racings.
but if that's something you're into, then yeah, it's definitely cool. Imagine we thought it was cool. My biggest problem with iPhone releasing this Apple Watch is, didn't we do that 2 years ago?
Exactly.
Haven't we released like the Galaxy Watch 2 already? I'm pretty sure
I
there's
think we
been
have.
two releases.
Yeah. I think I saw a commercial for it earlier this year.
And not to mention, there's Nokia watches, there's
Mhm.
Motorola watches. I'm sorry, I don't know other random brands that well. But iPhone, get it together,
For
get
real.
ahead of the game. You guys used to be innovators. What are you doing?
You guys got to step it up,
Not
man. You guys
much,
need to
obviously.
listen to the consumers. You got to know what the consumers want. Stay out of your pockets and think about the consumers. In the end, you'll make yourselves a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah, because you're going to be making money now, but if you keep playing catch up, you're going to lose a lot of people. That's going to
Absolutely.
suck on your pocket check.
For sure. All right, now that we've ripped Apple enough,
I don't know about enough, but
Yeah.
anyway, pick it up.
You guys do have a smooth operating system, and you were the best. I would love to see you the best again. This phone, I won't be getting it, but if you release something great, absolutely I'll make the switch. Make me an Apple user, and then you guys have done your job. What's our next topic?
It better be a supercomputer coming out.
you thought we got heated over that topic.
This will be fun.
It's only going to get worse. We're moving on to the main topic of the NFL and this domestic violence situation with Ray Rice. We'll get into Adrian Peterson a little later. We'll keep that on the side burner. But we're going to talk about Ray Rice right now. As far as what I've heard updated to the situation, he has been suspended by the NFL for an indefinite amount of time. The Ravens have released him, so he no longer plays for an NFL team. However, he is appealing his suspension from the NFL.
And you think that's going to work?
He's been dropped from all of his sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
He's been deleted from Madden 15, if I'm correct.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
I went and checked 2 days ago.
he's lost all of his income. He's no longer playing. Like, what do you guys think? Does he deserve more punishment, less punishment?
First of all, absolutely he deserves more punishment. His ass should be in jail or be getting the shit kicked out of him. You're a piece of shit, Ray Rice. I hate your guts. You
No.
never lay your hands on a woman. Hold
Exactly.
on. And so, but unfortunately, the way it goes, the NFL's going to protect a freaking stupid football player because he can make some good plays, and that's what gets me so heated. Of course, he's going to appeal. He's probably going to counter through the NFL. He'll be back in. He'll probably be like second string for a little bit, maybe, you know? But he's going to definitely get back into the NFL. That's how I feel. you get a good enough lawyer, you can do anything and get away with it.
Now let me ask you on something. If another team was to pick him up,
Mhm.
I highly doubt he would be second string. But what do you think would happen to that NFL team? Do you think they'd be scrutinized, or do you think by then we'd move on?
Unfortunately, I mean, greatly, they'll actually get scrutinized. They'll get a lot of crap for it for the first 6 weeks. But unfortunately, then a new story is going to come along. And that's just messed
Exactly.
up. That's not okay. It's unacceptable. But that's what's going to happen. And then people are honestly going to forget about it. I'm afraid of. And he should be in jail. He shouldn't be out there
He
throwing touchdowns, making millions of dollars or whatever.
Yeah. Based on his income, the bail should be set a hell of a lot higher than what it was. Or it should be a mandatory sentence, not this go to your domestic violence classes, which he should do as well.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
I'm going to go and disagree with Mr. Chocolate here. I think Roger Goodell would in no way help. If he treasures his job even a little bit, he's not going to let this man in the league. He's going to maintain that indefinite suspension forever. I don't think he'll let him back in. Short of a new commissioner coming in and saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go pro female abuse. I'm going to go ahead and reinstate Ray Rice. I don't think it's going to happen. The
I
man's
would-
out of a job.
I would agree with you, but I don't know the technicalities or like the technical terms or anything. But I don't think that's how it actually works. What Ray Rice is going to do, he's going to get himself a set of lawyers. He has millions of dollars. He'll get the best in the world, and then he's going to countersue the NFL. There's probably a chance he'll win the countersuit. He can, because I mean, he was in contracts and stuff. There's going to be a way that he can get out of this. And then after he countersues the NFL, if he wins that, there's no reason for him not to be back in the NFL. Again, I don't know the technicalities or anything like that. Not a law student, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I don't think the commissioner will have the power to say, like, no, you can't come back.
The Ravens terminated his contract. When one end of a party terminates one part of the contract, contract's done. That doesn't mean that there are any penalties for the Ravens, because there are. They carry a $2.5 million cap hit for the next 2 years, 3 years, something like that. And Roger Goodell, he runs a private company.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me that he has to rehire this guy because he was accused and there's video evidence of him assaulting a woman?
Absolutely. I completely understand exactly what you were saying. But the thing is, people have gotten away with worse. Like O.J. Simpson got away with murder. It's the
Hernandez
lawyers.
didn't.
It's the lawyers.
Ray Lewis did.
Well, Ray Lewis did, but Hernandez did not. This is a totally different NFL from 10 years ago.
Right.
But
10 years ago, it was a totally different place.
Absolutely.
Totally different world. People got, like you said earlier, everyone uses their cell phone
I
for a video recording device or audio recording device.
I wish I could agree with you, Tanner. I would be so happy if I could sit here and say, this guy's not going to be able to play in the NFL. He screwed up. But unfortunately, Tanner, I do think he's going to be back in there. I'm sorry, NV Tracker, but I don't want to see him back in the NFL, but he's going to countersue. He's going to countersue the Ravens, most likely, for terminating his contract. They'll find a reason that they can. It's what lawyers do. Lawyers go to school for a long time, take lots of exams. They can't go out and party for reasons. It's for scumbags like Ray Rice to be able to beat women and get away with it.
Now, NV Tracker, let me ask you something. You were talking about Ray Rice possibly coming in the league under a new commissioner. If it is found out that Roger Goodell had this video months ago, the elevator video, which if you guys haven't seen it, we're going to go ahead and post that video at the end of our credits. It is a disturbing video, so if you guys want to stay and watch it after the credits, you're more than welcome. But it will be there for those that haven't seen it. Now, if it's found out that Roger Goodell was hiding this evidence, do you think he should be held accountable for it and fired?
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's where I'm going to get kind of a little shaky, I guess. I don't know, you guys are probably not going to like this. It's going to be the owner's decision, and if the product is still going well under Roger Goodell, if people stop watching games, he's gone. If the product continues to get good ratings, make tons of money for the owners aren't going to fire him. That's who the bosses are. It's the owners. 32 owners of all 32 NFL teams. That is Roger Goodell's boss.
I'm going to completely agree with you on that.
And really, it's the American populace that has the power. Now,
Are you going to turn off your NFL game?
Hell no.
Fuck no. I'm not either. And he might, because he's not as big an NFL team as we are. Or
I'm not turning off my NFL. I'm sorry.
All right. I apologize for doubting you. But the average NFL fan is not going to turn off their television set. I'm going to go ahead and say that even if this evidence comes out that Roger Goodell knew about this video, he's not going to lose his job unless people en masse stop watching this, which I don't see happening.
And of course, real quick though, the original question Man of Steel 14 asked was, do you think he should lose his job? And we just want to put it out there. We all think
I do think he should.
Of course he should
He's not
lose
going
his
to.
job. If this comes out, I'll be still furious when he doesn't lose his job. That's ridiculous. This is something that I feel like the public is so... We do care about women a lot, you know? Like, women abuse is not okay. Abuse in general is not okay. This is something that America and everyone is so passionate about. Yet I do agree with NV Tracker over here that there's a good chance that he's going to be able to keep his job. You know, that's not okay.
I definitely think he'll keep his job as well. But now let me ask you guys. When this story originally came out, the only video that was out there was of Ray Rice dragging his unconscious, at the time, fiancée out of the elevator.
That
She's
should have been
unconscious. Why do you guys feel like the second video of him actually hitting her changed everything? And then let me throw something else out there on top of that. You got people like McDonald playing for the 49ers and Adrian Peterson that we're going to get into later. Also domestic violence, but to a 4-year-old child. Why is it fair that they get to still play in the league and McDonald was not even punished at all?
I know exactly why. Man of Steel 14, that's a good question. And NV Tracker, he touched upon it earlier. And it's because we have video evidence. That's why. Because we see him hitting his fiancée at the time. If we had a video of Adrian Peterson hitting a 4-year-old, absolutely he would not be playing right now.
And actually to touch on that, he did not play this last week against the Patriots. The Vikings did a very classy move and deactivated him for that game. He's back on for this upcoming game because they thought all charges were dropped. It's like, okay, so everything's done. He's served his sentence. Everything's done. All of a sudden, this new story comes out, which we'll touch on later.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about that. But now he's playing again, and it irks me a little bit.
But yeah.
To answer your question, though, Man of Steel 14, I don't know why. Dragging an unconscious woman out of an escalator, that should be more than enough to stir some real shit up. You know, that's not okay. I did not need to see her get punched in the face.
No. But here's the thing. I will say this. I don't know if the elevator was going up or down, but my mom has low blood pressure, and she told us, me and my brother, at a very young age, hey, if I'm on an elevator and we go up really fast, I'll probably pass out. Okay? So she could have... Now, here, I'm going to sound like a complete and total tool right now, so I warn you right now. What could have been going through the commissioner's minds, hey, we don't have 100% evidence that he socked her in the face. She could have fallen down, smashed her face on one of the handrails.
But he admitted to it.
Did he?
Yeah.
And so that's the big
He
problem.
admitted to hitting her open-handed.
Then scratch everything I just said. I apologize. I did not know that part.
No, that is okay. NV Tracker, that's more than okay. But it's not okay that now that we've seen her get hit in the face, okay, yeah, now you're a bad guy. But before, 2-game suspension is enough.
Absolutely. It should have been a
not.
hell of a lot more. You got people getting suspended an entire year for smoking pot. Like,
Daryl Washington, Josh Gordon.
like, come on.
Come on now.
And then this dude, because he had no previous offenses, he hit a woman, and he only got a 2-game suspension at the time. Man, keep this guy out of the league forever.
All right, this is one of
Doesn't
the
deserve to be in there.
top bruiser backs in the league. The man is built. He's bigger than this guy. He's twice as big as him.
I would say a solid 4 times as big as him.
And he's meaner. He is 10 times meaner than this guy. And he hit a woman.
And I mean,
The fuck?
if I hit a woman, guaranteed I could knock out most women in one hit. Never will do it, but my ass will be in jail for a long time.
Oh yeah,
And-
and it's because you're not an NFL athlete.
And if I made it to the news somehow, everybody would hate me. The whole world would hate me. The NFL would probably hate me. But no, it's Ray Rice, so... Okay, let's give him 2 games. You know, like,
He's
this
a
is bullshit.
superstar. He can take it. It's no big deal.
It's unacceptable the way that this is being handled. Ray Rice, first of all, should be in jail, absolutely. Second of all, he should never ever be able to play again, but he's going to countersue and he will play again. I'm just going to say.
I don't think so.
But in my opinion, he's going to countersue. He will play football again. and it's not okay. It just sends the wrong message to everybody. This is something the NFL should actually take advantage of this opportunity to show that we don't stand up for this bullshit. Ray Rice, get the hell out of here. But no, they're not going to do that, and that's not okay.
I completely agree. I completely agree with Mr. Chocolate over there. I don't think he should ever come back. I feel like he is going to fight it, and there's a possibility he will come back. But that team that picks him up is going to make a huge mistake. They're going to get a lot of publicity out of it. If he does come back, a new story will come up, like Mr. Chocolate says, and it'll be last week's news. But if you guys got anything else to say about Ray Rice, let's get it out there. But if not, let's talk about another piece of shit.
I think he's a piece of shit human being that should be wiped off the face of the planet.
Hitting a woman is so wrong. Why would you ever do that? But why the fuck would you ever lay your hands on a kid and leave him with bruises?
There you go.
Let's talk about Adrian Peterson of the Vikings.
I understand spanking your kid lightly.
Absolutely.
I do not understand taking a stick and leaving marks on him. That's not cool.
I believe that's battery, using a weapon as
Yes,
the way I
yeah,
look
that's
at it.
assault. That's assault and battery on a minor, technically. Right?
A 4-year-old.
On
Yeah.
a four-year-old minor, but I mean,
Which should be an enhancement to assault.
And real quick, I feel like there are parents who have done less, who have done absolutely less, but may have accidentally crossed the line when punishing their child, and they get fucked over.
Oh, yeah,
Those
no,
parents
they're probably
accidentally
still in jail.
ruined their life. Exactly.
And so now, Adrian Peterson, as far as I know, all that happened to him. Yeah, a warrant was issued for his arrest. He turned himself in on a Saturday morning. He paid the $15,000 bail. Again,
he
that's
makes how much money?
That's lunch money.
How much
That's
money?
lunch
does he make?
money.
He could go and buy a car for that and be like, let's go buy 3 more.
Yeah.
I do agree with that, but understandably so. You can't just punish someone more just because they're rich. You can't actually treat someone worse or more harsh just because they have money.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, I'm enraged. I'm enraged with that. It's
Isn't
just
isn't
that's
it-
how it is, you know.
Yeah, so Adrian Peterson did end up not playing against the Patriots. He still had a very strong fan base there wearing his jersey in support of him, which I don't understand. He is back on the roster to play next week. It's crazy to me. I understand the team is waiting for the trial, which isn't going to happen until 2015, next year sometime, which by that time, you know, who knows what will happen at that point. He's probably going to retire at the end of this year. I mean, with all of his knee problems he had, he's an amazing running back, but I feel he's going to be on a downslope this year if he continues to play, and I think he's going to be done. But
I don't think this year. I'm thinking next year, just because he thinks he's got a lot left in the tank.
he does, yeah.
So I think next year, but that's a topic for a different day. Let's get back to the assault charge.
Exactly.
So I don't know much about the second charge. I just kind of saw the headline today. Do you know more?
No, allegedly during the same time he was beating his 4-year-old son, which let me also throw in there, last year, one of his sons was killed by his baby mama's boyfriend for beating the child and punishing him. One of his sons was killed from that, and now there he is using it. His whole thing is, well, my parents did it to me, and look how I turned out. Well,
Look how you turned out. You're beating
You're
children
beating
and
children.
leaving
Seriously.
marks on them. Oh my
I'm an
god.
NFL athlete that beats children. That doesn't send a good image to me. That pisses
No.
me off. That you're not a cool. That's not.
it's crazy. And, I believe the Vikings should have deactivated him for longer than one game. They jumped on there with the whole Ray Rice thing and tried to do the right thing, but I just don't know. I think it's a horrible thing, but for this one, it's a lot tougher for me than Ray Rice hitting a woman.
Because there's no video.
No, not because
No.
there's no video.
Okay, maybe that's the
I
general.
mean,
public.
he took it way too far. I mean, the kid had marks on his back, his legs, his genitals, his scrotum, bruising all over. And I don't even know where to go. If you're going to spank your kid, once should be enough.
Okay.
If you're going to spank your kid,
If you're gonna do it
once
5,
should be enough.
it's enough so that they
Mhm.
hear it and they know they're
I
being
mean,
punished.
yeah, you got to get the point across,
It's
but at
bang,
the same
bang,
time,
bang.
you better not be leaving a mark.
No, you
Here's-
leave a mark, and that's assault. That's abuse. That's bullshit.
Absolutely, but here's what I'm saying. I feel we're pretty upset about this, and I feel like the public is pretty upset about this. However, when I heard, I did not shed a tear. If I saw a video of the exact beating that left those, first of all, probably wouldn't make it through the whole video. Second of all, there's a good chance there would be a tear on my cheek. There would.
Very
And
true.
I would probably have gotten a plane ticket to find Adrian Peterson and whoop his ass. Like, the video is what would make so much of a difference. Of course, no one wants to see that,
No,
but
it
if
would-
that video existed, this guy would be done, you know?
But
And
it would
that's
help.
not
Yeah.
okay. Because the same scars, the same everything would be there, the same bruises, excuse me, but we would actually would know what happened, you know? But we already know what happened, you know? When I got a
Yeah,
spanking, I didn't have bruises on me.
No, you can extrapolate what happened. It's like he beat him in an almost vicious fashion.
Yeah.
Maybe it is vicious. I don't know.
And you know, Adrian
What
Peterson
Peterson did.
knew it was wrong because directly after the incident, he was texting. I'm not sure if it's his wife or his girlfriend. He was texting her and telling her about the incident and using the switch. And you know, he believes that he used too long of a branch and it wrapped around and got his thighs and this and that and how he felt bad, but he had to leave memories for the kid to act right.
It's fucked
And you
up.
know, he's 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just learning life.
You don't even start conscious memory until what, 6 or 7?
Yeah.
And what could you do that's that bad, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, I mean, I don't know what he did, but when I got punishment when I was a kid, it was nothing like that. And, I mean, I highly doubt a 4-year-old can do anything that's truly wrong. It's not like he stole a Mercedes-Benz and crashed it or anything, you know?
Yeah.
It would be impressive, but that still doesn't deserve getting beat. You deserve to, go through the judicial system.
Exactly.
Your
But you're a
father's-
4-year-old, so you're not doing that. It doesn't even
No,
matter.
your father shouldn't beat you. You should. We have a judicial system for a reason. It's not to take justice into your own hands.
Yeah.
There's guys that are paid professional money to go and do that kind of stuff for you.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. My final thoughts on that are just that he's not going to be punished enough just because there's no video. Like, honestly, just because the Ray Rice thing, it's so crazy because we have a video. If that video never existed, Ray Rice would still be playing because it would have never come to public, you know?
He'd be
Okay.
preparing to play whichever team the Ravens are playing this week.
Exactly. Like, this is a real quick thing. Everyone was really upset when Chris Brown beat Rihanna because those are two people everybody knows.
Yep.
All we had were bruises. The public hated Chris Brown for a good while, you know? We were
Still
upset
hate
with
him.
that.
Until his next single came out.
Exactly. Now we're A-okay. It's perfectly fine. Had there been a video of him abusing her, you might have died,
Different
honestly.
story.
I don't know if
Yeah.
he's still alive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't guarantee that.
Maybe the next Tupac or Biggie.
So, I hate to say it, but I feel, we're so caught up with social media and stuff. If we would have seen Adrian Peterson hitting his child and stuff, things would be totally different. However, the way things are, I think nothing's going to happen of this. Nothing good enough will happen as a punishment for him.
Excuse me.
What you got? Last thoughts, MB Tracker.
Last thoughts. I think because he is a superstar, he holds a single. No, he's second place in the single season rushing totals. He owns the single game rushing yard record. He's considered one of the best NFL running backs of all time. You really think the NFL is gonna knock out their star-studded child? Not to say that pun and after what we've been talking about, but I don't think they're going to do much unless something else really comes up where it's like, hey, we've got a video of Adrian Peterson beating the crap out of the second child.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He's going to get a couple game suspension. I'm going to bank on that. I think he's going to get a couple game suspension.
win.
I don't know.
I mean, he's
Whenever the hell
he's
Roger
already
Goodell gets
sat
his-
out one game.
Whenever Roger Goodell gets around to it, that badass.
Well, it'll be next year, 2015, when
Yeah.
the trial finally comes around,
Probably.
if that happens.
Probably.
And by then, the public's not going to be very engaged with the story, honestly,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
Exactly.
But if we're serious with ourselves, they might be able to sweep this under the rug, you know?
Yeah.
Essentially, I'm thinking not enough. That's my final thoughts. Not enough's going to happen.
I'm
Yeah.
guaranteeing not enough.
And I'm agreeing with Mr. Chocolate. I think this one game he sat out is going to be it. I think he's going to continue playing from now on, and this Ray Rice thing is going to take over, and it's all going to be about Ray Rice. Nothing else happens. I haven't told you guys about this one. It's something I just thought of. It's an old story, so I just kind of want to touch bases with you guys and see what you thought about this scandal and the punishment this gentleman got. Old owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, Mr. Donald Sterling. His girlfriend privately recorded him saying some racist comments,
I remember this story.
and now he was forced to sell his team. Granted, he sold the team for an outrageously amount more than what he paid
Record.
for it.
Record.
So now, do you guys feel because he was illegally, let me remind you, illegally recorded saying racist things, what do you guys feel about that punishment? Just real quick, just to touch on it.
This is going to be real quick for me, and a lot of people, so many people are going to hate what I have to say. I hope we don't lose any viewers because of this. But I don't think he should have had to sell the team, you know? A man is allowed to have his thoughts. If you discriminate against someone because of the color of their skin, then you're just ignorant. But you're allowed to do it. That's okay. If you're not going to punch someone in the face just because they're African American or Asian American or whatever, you know, then yeah, you're allowed to think terrible thoughts about other people. You're allowed to voice those terrible thoughts about other people, you know? We have freedom of speech here. I don't think that he should have had to sell the team. I'm glad everyone was heated about that. That's great, honestly. But it's a guy voicing his opinion. He's lucky he made a lot of money, you know? Fist bump for that. Good job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to come off as probably two-sided. I'm not sure. It's not illegal to be racist. It's just not. But it is illegal to be recorded without your consent. So now, on the other hand, the NBA is a private business. They can do whatever the hell they want. And if I don't know how many NBA teams there are, 32, 30, however many. If all of them but you say you need to sell your team, guess what? You're selling your team.
Absolutely.
And that's their discretion. Think of the NFL, or I'm sorry, the NBA owners as like the board of directors. If you're the only one saying that you need to be doing something and everyone else is voting against you, you lose. It's that simple. And if the other owners say he needs to sell his team, that's their discretion.
I definitely, it's understandable why he had to sell the team because
Yes.
everyone was so heated about it.
But there shouldn't be a legal constraint on him selling
Absolutely.
the team, which there wasn't.
No.
And it was the other owners voting saying you need to sell your team right now.
Now this, I just don't have the right words, so this can come out a little harsh, but I think there was almost an overreaction to this incident. Like what happened, what he said, that is fucked up, absolutely. But I think there was almost an overreaction. I mean, it's just because so many players are African American, you know? They're all upset that this happened, so obviously they're like, dude, get this guy the hell out of here, you know?
Well,
But he's allowed to have his opinion, you know?
yes. However, think about it from the other owner's perspective. If they let this happen, how many African American viewers are they going to have? How many African American players are going to want to have come in? That's going to set a bad example. Oh, this is what the image they're going to be portraying as. Oh, we condone racists as being owners in our organization.
See,
And that's not cool.
you know, my whole thought on it, I'm going to go against Mr. Chocolate. I feel like he should have had to have sold his team. It wasn't a first offense. It was his 5th, 6th, 7th offense of getting caught in this racist bickering of this old man. Now, as far as I know, he's going to be dead soon anyways. He's got a lot of medical conditions. So, I mean, this is a story of the past. I do feel like he should have sold his team. You know, you have basically employees working for you, and you're talking shit about your employees. Regardless of the color of their skin, you're talking shit about your own employees. I know if I found out my boss was talking shit about me, I would not want to work for that person.
Absolutely.
You know,
Well, I mean,
I
and
look at it that way.
Your employees are making millions and millions
Exactly.
and millions of dollars. Well, I
Exactly.
guess it would be billions now because he sold his team for like $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. So I just feel like Donald Sterling, you know, he's allowed to have his own opinion, absolutely. He wants to be racist. It's ignorant. It's foolish. Be racist. Go ahead, you know. Because words don't hurt someone as long as you're not going and being too messed up. But yeah, he should have been more conscious of what he says, who he says it to, and when he says it. Absolutely.
True that. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. Episode 4.1. Thank you all for watching. As you all know, I am Man of Steel 14, and I'm signing out.
I'm MB Trackers signing out.
It's Mr. Chocolate over here. Just want to give you guys one more reminder. We want to know what you think about this current event. You know, the iPhone as well as this domestic abuse issues, that is very important. You heard our opinions. With the iPhone, you know, we were all kind of just bashing it for the most part. What do you think about the iPhone? Tell us how we're wrong. Tell me how the iPhone is wrong.
Bring on the heat. Come on.
Absolutely. Comment on our Facebook page. You know, it's facebook.com/themancastnv. You can also comment on our YouTube channel if you just do a quick search of Mancast NV, you know. Let us know what you think about the domestic violence issue. I know I've been pretty lenient on Donald Sterling, which might come out ironic, obviously, because of the color of my skin, you know. Let me know how you feel about that. Let me know how you feel about everything. You can always shoot us an email, too, at mancastnv@gmail.com. That's a great way for vendors or anyone who would like to get on the show or be sponsored or anything featured. It's a great way for you to contact us, you know. We want to know what you think. We're all a community. This is great. We love you guys. We'll see you on our next mini-sode. Mr. Chocolate, I'm out of here.
We'll see you tomorrow. Man, Steel 14 signing out.
If you check your signing up.